What's up, YouTube fam? This is Dark Angel's Journey, and I am Shakira. So, no joke, this is going to be my third attempt at making this video because I keep forgetting that the stupid replay button doesn't want to go below 15 minutes. So, please, for the love of everything, Shakira, do not do that again. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this gloomy ass Sunday because all this makes me want to do is take a flippin' nap. But, but, I'm gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna hit the replay button here. I'm gonna just hit click. All right. Okay, so what are we doing? I'm gonna try and just figure out entries based off of just plain price action. Maybe I'll add a moving average, but I'm definitely gonna add in my favorites, trend lines, higher lows, and imbalance finder because that's gonna be helpful. There's also the pivot, which I might just pop in here. Maybe I don't know if I really want to, but to test out how I feel about that. And I gotta remember that the replay button has been updated, so it's down here. Interesting. I couldn't find it for the longest. Fail. Anyway, that sounds like a good time. And guys, it's so hard, honestly, to try and figure out where all of how to do all of these things. So I'm gonna try and keep it simple, dial it back. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and that's just information overload. So let's take it back to just trying to figure out price action based off of imbalances, where we think price might go, and doing trade setups, right? Like specifying where we think it might go. So let's just do that. But first things first, let's make sure we know where the heck things go. I'm gonna make a level here because touch. Okay, good. And then let's get a see about this downward sloping business. Let's see how that one looks. I don't know if I like that at all. Zoom in a little bit. I'm not obsessed with making it perfect, but I am obsessed with making it useful, So let's that. So got that touch. I want to incorporate that one too. And it might just be that it's two separate lines. Who the hell knows, right? And I apologize if I'm cursing too much for y'all. Let's see how that one works. Okay. I'd zoom in. So we got touch, a bit of a mini breakout. And yeah, okay, let's see how that one works out for us. Decided that all of my daily lines should be red, so I know that there are daily lines. I don't have to type it in. All right, anything juicy. So what I'm thinking is try and see if I can find something on the 4 hour and then try and trade it on the 15, given the limitations, right? And if I can't find anything on the 4 hours, I'm going to run down to the 1:45, etc. Okay. All right. So where did we land? June. So okay, back in June. Never know what I've got going on here. So let's get some juicy levels going. That's got a three looking nice, juicy looking touches there. All right. Okay. Yep. All right. That's good. All right, so we know we're on a downtrend on the higher levels. Let's pop into the 4 hours and let's hit the auto, make these a little bit bigger and see if there's anything juicy. So we've got this thing and let's add our imbalance. Let's add our imbalance finder, higher lows. You know what, let's drop in the pivot and then we can add it in and remove it. So I'm just gonna drop it down to just the daily pivot and I'm going to change the color to yellow and make it a little less egregious. There we go. And do that. And then for the higher lows, let's adjust this to remove the zigzag. I know it shows like the chart patterns, but let's do that. And the reason why I'm looking at the pivots at all is to just kind of help me with direction, with trend direction, right? Because if you look at the way the pivots are moving, if they're doing right. So for example, if we're in a downtrend like this one right here, zoom in. So, we've got the pivot here. We broke below it, then fought a little bit, and then we started trading below the pivots, below. So the moment it breaks above the pivot, then that makes me feel like we're going to go back up, right? So that's like it's just more of an indication thing to kind of reconfirm what I'm thinking versus anything else, right? Okay, so this is the 4-hour. We're in a downtrend, so I'm looking for shorting opportunities. And we have a nice juicy break here. Lower, low, lower, high, lower, high, lower, high. Doesn't appear to be any juicy imbalance all the way up here. Must have come down pretty quickly. Could be a good shorting opportunity for another time, but it's also at a level, so that's kind of suspect. Anything else that we can see? I used to be trying to draw these things, right? So what is it? Since we're on a downtrend, and down, it's like an M pattern, down, 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 and make a little new W, shorter W, come back up, retrace, come back up, and then just start it all over again, right? Stop, okay. It's not going to always work perfectly, but let me just plot that in here. What are we looking at here anyway? So we had this big drop, and we made a lower high here. Then sellers made a lower high here, then a lower high here, and we're coming down to this area. Do we have any kind of a juicy break for me to play with? So this higher low, we had this break right here, but that's already played out for this, so who cares, right? All right, so I guess the next thing I want to see, let's look at the 1 hour and see if there's anything juicy to play with there within that. Okay, yeah. So that's a little better. Let's do that to make it a little more obvious. All right, so on the 1 hour, here's a nice break. All right, oops, what's that? Why did I do that? Come here. Yeah, do what I say. I'm just gonna put break on it. All right, and the pivot's here, so expect to come back, maybe, whatever, bounce off. So this is a very juicy break, very juicy. And we have an imbalance, this green candle right here. So let's say this would be our entry area. And honestly, with the imbalance below it, and I don't see an imbalance above it, so let's call this the entry in the 1 hour. Entry 1 hour, or entry zone. It's also order block / supply area, right? All that good stuff's in there. Okay. It's a nice juicy break. So what I'm looking for now is for price to it's already starting to make a higher low here. I don't know if it's going to come back up and do something juicy, but there's an imbalance here to eat. This one, and maybe we'll come in here and bounce off of that. So let's let that play out because I just want to take shorts. Oh, and something else that I'm trying to remember to consistently do is add my fib retracement on here from my highest to my lowest area here. And I want to make sure the background colors are as dim as possible. So yeah, I just want to see where the numbers are. Can I set this as default? Apply. Oops. Now, guess I must have dimmed it before. I dim it even more. Okay, good. What happened to my numbers? No. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little extra. What happened to my numbers? Let's do custom settings. Okay. Where's the numbers? Am I losing my mind, y'all? Seriously. took the trend on. These are all showing, and set that lower. How strange. How fascinating. Oh, reversing as in, oh, I see. And yep. I get the prices in the opposite on the opposite side. How did I do that? Labels left, right. Okay, so that. There we go. And then, of course, to signify my expensive or premium and discount zones, so I'm just gonna plop that in there. And just as a reminder that I want to buy when it's all red, I want to short in my expensive zone and long in the cheap zone. Premium, discount. Saying it wrong. All right, cool. So here we have some liquidity that could be hunted. So trying to be able to spot these. So liquidity spot areas so it could spike and then so let's see. Anything on top of this? Any imbalance? Ah, yes, look at that. There's a juicy little imbalance above as well. Something to draw the price for them to fuel up. Always check to the left, y'all. Okay, so what I'm looking for right now is for them to come up in this area, hunt all of this liquidity right here, and then I'm looking for an entry at the 0.8 area right here. Okay, because we have this break, so I want to come in here, but this is a waiting game. It's super serious patience. All right, so let me just up the thing and see if we can't get this to roll through a little faster. So just press play and see if price bothered to roll back up. All right, making some higher lows. Oh, we dropped even lower. And it might not even come into the area I'm looking for. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Do I have any natural supply or demand areas here on the 1 hour? So here's a zone. Here's a rally maybe zone area, maybe. This is a natural demand area, I think. Yeah. And it could also double as a support resistance area too. Let's draw that out and see what this looks like. So we have this area here where price was coming back into over and over again. Okay. Ah, see, something else to pay attention to. Jeez. What shall we make this? Using all these damn colors. Let's make that light fuchsia. I can't do anything with colors, y'all. Don't judge me. All right, so fun fact. So price was using this as a nice support resistance area. Looks like it was using it for a while. Nice. And then it flipped, touched, used it, and then busted through it. And now we've busted back down again. So the question is, will it respect it or is it going to bust above it? And that might mess with my entrance too. But what do we have up here? We have this imbalance and we've got this liquidity that needs to be hunted. Come back down to here, right? So and there's an imbalance above that. So we got to see how price behaves. Right now, it's not looking very good for me. Like it might not come all the way back up here at all because it's just, oh man, and look. For the pivots, it broke. It was respecting it, broke above it. Now it looks like it's respecting it again. So actually might not get where we want to be. Let's see, is there anything else juicy? Well, this is looking less and less likely, because how far away is that from here? About 40 bars, 10%. The liquidity area up there, I don't know. There's an imbalance here, an imbalance here. They don't always have to go back and refill every little thing. Okay, so what else we got to help us out? Well, we got to see if it's going to bust back above this pivot too. This might be a better entry area, but not really seeing. Hold on. So this is kind of one of those situations, this rally-based rally area here, retrace, continuation, right? And this red candle, I think, would have been my entry zone area for it to come back up, right? Or you could have entered when it broke above this neckline, you know, on that green candle or the red one, whatever. Okay, but this is another like area where prices were coming together, accumulating to add strength. See, this is where I start to get confused, right? Things just start to blur. But even so, this is in my nice expensive zone area. This is in my discount area. But it's looking like in the pivot, it's still below. It tried to break above here, couldn't do it. Still below. It's doing a little break here. Do I see any kind of head and shoulders pattern or anything? Let's go in the 15. Maybe we can see more. I don't know. This is where I get really confused, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely get really confused. Okay. So at the base of this thing, we're making higher lows, higher lows. Looks like we have a swing failure here, a swing and a miss. So this is telling me maybe that, it's probably not going to get any higher. Swing failure. And let's look at the candles themselves. So, yeah. So we've got this indecision or doji right here. Red candle sellers try to go back up above the pivot but couldn't. Let's drop this to 1x so I can just get the one candle, the next candle below it, because maybe, and do I have a good break? Let's get a low here, we got a lower high, this high right here. And so this break, it's not the juiciest break. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? I don't think it's that juicy, but it did break cleanly. Came down. And what's my entry? It meandered, then came down, tried it. So this green candle, I guess, would be where I'd want to try and enter. And let's set that to entry. And the swing failure makes me feel like, yeah, and we're below the pivot too. And that green candle. So I might need to redraw my my expensive zones. And fib, let's put my GAN box here. So let's do this. So now my entry's in the expensive zone, so I can take a short from here. So let's see. Ooh, I gotta plug this in. Ooh, yeah. I don't want the laptop to die while I'm trying to figure this crap out. You just gotta work with what price wants for you. Like I wanted something up here, and it's obviously not looking like it's gonna go back up there. Oh, and there's an imbalance right here to be aware of. Remember this, they gotta hunt this puppy right here. So that's an imbalance. So they could pop this up high, hunt that out, and then drop it back down. So I'm waiting. And then I could also put my Fibonacci from my lows here to the highs here. And let's see if that coincides with where I want to get in on this action. Oops, drew that wrong. That's all the way around. Oh, probably could have just flipped it. Learning new things. From my highs to, yep, to the low here. And so if I want my entry to be here, what am I aiming for? I gotta have some, that imbalance has been eaten. That one is still there. Well, this area seems to be kind of a nice juicy area. I'm gonna ditch this one since I don't think it's going up there for now. Let's just use this guy. So on the 15-minute swing failure pattern, I'm gonna wait for this to be hunted. So let's set my short over here at, I would prefer the 0.7. Hold on. Let me adjust this and maybe fix this, my fibby. Let's add this and change that to 0.7 and add that one in. Okay, so 0.7's up here. If I go with this break, I would be coming in a little lower than that, but still in my premium zone. Did I delete my premium zone? Looks like I did. Hold on. Oh, no, I didn't. Hold on. Let me move it over to where I need it. Whoops. Don't need you. Yeah. Just want to be able to see it. It's my premium zone. So as long as I get in up here somewhere. And what would that get us anyway? If we came in here, that's at the 0.6, and aim for down here, 1.87. But like I said, there was a imbalance just there. Maybe I could aim for that. But within the fib, should probably aim for the 0.2 if I'm being honest and stop trying to be greedy, which has caught me like every freaking time. So let's say we go into our entry. All right. Oh, you know what else is on this thing? And just head for this guy right there. You know what else is in here that makes me feel a little better? We have the swing failure, and there's a Quasimodo on this break too, a QML. So this green candle right here, it's a QML. Oops, I think I have a default for that. Yeah. And let's just say 4 hour. Okay, good, just QML. Perfect. So that makes me feel better. I've got a nice juicy break, or as juicy as I can get it. It's still pretty good. We've got a entry zone which overlaps the QML and this imbalance. Actually, sorry, my bad. Was it this green candle or that green candle? Well, and then we have this imbalance down here, and I said I wanted to enter like right about here. Okay. And that's at the point, a little above the 0.6. And then we're going to set our, for this area where they've been hunting. But first, we want to wait until they've hunted this liquidity up here and swing failure. And they've already hunted this downward liquidity. That's good. So maybe they won't go back up. Let's find out. All right, let's let that play out. And okay, so once it pops down, we're in it. Now we're in it. Okay, good. Ah, oops. I hadn't set my stop loss properly yet. All right, let's pause that. Let's pause that. I hadn't set my stop loss properly because this thing is all the way up here. I would have set it above the pivot and then maybe above this, since it's a swing failure and the liquidity has already been hunted. So I would have set it above the pivot, just a smidgy. You could also do that, or you could do, hold on, the ATR method, right? Which I mentioned a couple of times. So that would be this top here, 1781, 1781, and we were still over here, and the ATR is for the place where we entered, so that could have been here. The new pivot got created. Oh, that's scary. So let's say we entered here, the new pivot, scary. And ATR at that point was 6.19. So that would have been 1781 plus 6, 1781.875 plus, let's say 7, so 1789. Whoa, that's quite a stop loss. Oh, yeah, it would have been above load that guy, so approximately there. I gotta do this properly when I do this, guys. Sorry about that. But I just put entry, didn't even like adjust the stop loss. All right, and then let's see how this continues to play out, right? So we're in it. Maybe my thoughts, because we've got the higher lows. So maybe it hadn't been hunted yet. Oh my God, it hadn't been hunted yet, guys. But okay, so I'm stopped out. And what is happening? What is happening? So then price coils back down. Oh, this is fascinating. So is it going to come back down? Okay, do I get a different break? It's still higher lowing me. It's higher lowing me. There's a lower high right there. Okay, hold on. But it's still making higher low. So I'm all kinds of wrong, y'all. So maybe, maybe, wow, crap. Does it ever? Okay, so it definitely it hunted all of this, ate that liquidity I mentioned before, then promptly. So here's another break on the 15. That's why I wasn't sure about this break. It wasn't that juicy. See, is this one better? Let's see. Well, did that. Here's another swing failure, so I guess I wasn't feeling. This is probably the liquidity hunt, which I did mention that, but still working that out in my brain. Oh my God, what the hell? Always feels like it's just trying to go against me, right? All right, so now we have a new play area to work with. So let's adjust our expensive and discount zones a bit. Oh, sorry. Let's delete that. Let's adjust our, oops. So they hunted that as expected. Obviously, I don't have the right amount of patience. Jeez. Let's redo our fib here. So we have this higher high. And let's drag this down to our bottom here. Okay. And now we're in this 0.7 for the fib. And let's adjust our premium and discount zones as well. Damn. So this is helping me remember that I can enter back into the trade even if I get stopped out, which I would have right then. Okay. All right. So is there any The other thing I just keep forgetting is like any kind of like um, candle stick pattern to watch for. Because look at this. This is like, what is that? The evening star, along with the, yeah, this is like the evening star pattern right here. Got this rejection up here. Um, so we have this juicy break we can play with. Let's see if I'm seeing that right. I'm always worried I'm not drawing it right. So if that's the break, let's say I'm all kinds of right here. So that's a nice break. Then it already ate this imbalance. Then we have this imbalance here. And that green candle will be my entry. So let's try this again. Entry. And it's coiling upwards though. Do we have any kind of interesting pattern forming, right? Maybe there's something I should be aware of that I'm not seeing. Let's see here. Is there a wedge I'm just not noticing or understanding? Touch, touch. Broke out of that. Okay, all right. Oh man. And let's zoom back out. Let's zoom back out here. All right, so my first thoughts were all kinds of wrong. And my goodness. Guys, what the heck, man? I don't understand what's going on. Let's do this. Let's take that off. Let's take that off. That's already been eaten, so that can go. Okay. So, what are we seeing? This is some kind of, let's delete that. It was a QML, but it didn't work, so. But not really paying attention to what's happening on the higher levels here. Let's look at that. So, what do we have? Prices drop below the pivot, or below the pivot. We just busted above the pivot, which is suggesting higher prices, potentially, right? If it stays above it, we've got an upward slope that seems to be, it's being respected. And do we have an area here? Maybe an SR flip zone or something. Got a nice quality break here. Let's draw that out. So price was coming here and tapping and chatting and having a good old time. And these zones always tend to be so much more than I think they are, you know? Let's see. Maybe I'm just not drawing it right either, too. Let's back up to the 1 hour. See, I just keep doing that. Keep just backing up and trying to figure out if I'm even doing the right thing. Like, it's so frustrating. But if I can find an actual like supply and resistance zone, like a flip of some kind, that would be really great. So okay, so price came into this area, touched it, went up, dropped below it. Yeah, came down into it, bounced up, down into it, bounced up. So the question is it going to, since it's coiling up, is it going to, are we making some kind of wedge here? Am I making that up in my head? Let's see. Connect the dots here. And let's do this. Make it more juicy. Just more touches. Ah, we are making a wedge. Okay. and prices consolidating inside of it. Oh man, guys. Without the full story, you just don't know what the hell to do, right? All right, so this pattern, we're still going down. This one, we're going up. And it hasn't printed the next one yet. What's the potential for this thing? So it's coiling up, and we're in a downtrend. It could. This is what's so hard for me, is if it breaks, we could hit 1662, but we have this resistance to play with at the base here. And we have this other SR flip zone. Oh, but look, we have this other. What is this? Oh, this is a potential SR flip zone. And we have this big break up here, but we're still. But this break, lower high, might be coiling back up to it into this SR flip zone as well. Assuming it becomes one. Assuming, we don't know. Oh, man, it's difficult. But there is a break here, and it's within the zone. There's an imbalance above it. Let's mark those out. They could definitely chew us out there. And I'm just going to, since it's all of that, really. And what do we have? We had this swing failure. Well, at least I think it is. Yeah. Make that. Let's draw it this way. Yeah. And there's liquidity here, and they hunted it. It's making a lower high. We have a break, so where's our entry if we were to use this break? So hung out here, so it's this green candle here. Interesting. Entry zone. Order block. So this is the supply area as well. Let's change the color to green. What else we have? We have a QML. This candle right here. Trying to see what price action things all come together in this space. And hopefully eventually I'll get to the point where I don't have to draw them. I can just let it all fly. So, and there's an imbalance below. Oh, it's already been eaten. Never mind. So it's coiling upwards. It's hanging out here, which suggests to me that maybe it's going to break upwards. But we are in a downtrend, so we're consolidating here for something. Yeah, I do think I want to, based off of what I'm seeing, this break, this thing's up here, the QML. I'm going to dip this down to the 15 minute and see if there's an entry for me to play with. Because, because it's squeezing like this, there's not much I can do in terms of, I gotta wait until it does break out of here. You could probably take like shorter, scalp or sniper entries in between the space, but let's let this play out and see. If it's going upwards, then the target would be, oops, let's grab this. I don't know why I don't just straighten it out, but back into this SR flip up here at 1904. It's not bad. But it's coiling upwards. So that might, and that's the other thing I'm trying to understand. If it's coiling upwards, is it going to continue that way? but we've been coming down and down and down. So I don't know. Maybe there's some news thing that might help with this, but let's just see how this plays out. So we're coiling this way. It makes me feel like it's going to break up this way. Maybe get into my entry area and then fall back down. But again, there's an imbalance up here, so it's a little scary. So let's see if we're going to get hunted first, and then do I have another break or something I can enter from that's more secure? All right, let's press play. I'm just voicing my thoughts here. Oh, look, it's coiling downwards. So, bearish potential. Do I have any price action stuff to play with? Well, it made a lower high here. Made a first low. What does that candle even look like? Sometimes it's hard to understand the big picture. So this tells me that it's indecision. We're trying to go lower, got rejected. All right. So we're trying. We've got imbalances here. Still nothing for me to play with. And it's above the pivots, but we're coiling lower. So what I want to see now is, what I'm thinking is if we can break, retest it, and then continue down. And then I want to enter somewhere about here on the retest, right? Let me put my GAN box in here just so I can tell my expensive. So we're still in the expensive zone. And let me drop my fib on here as well, just to see where we are as well. So we're well below any of my desired entries. But, all right, look at this low. So there's this break right here. Now, if I were to just do pure price action, break, approximate, and we keep trying and failing to find potential entry areas. So there's two options I think I'm seeing. So we got this break, and then the area, because here's my Quasimodo stuff from before, but it's inside of this thing, so I might just ignore that for now. Then this green candle is the one that started this thing. So if I were to, it's at the 0.7. How perfect. So this would be an entry into a short, but entry, so short. And let's make that white and make that green. Okay. So that would be my entry for a short if you wanted to. Oh, and there's an imbalance next to it too. And that's a good sign, I think. Let's plop that imbalance there. So one of two things will happen. It's at the 0.7. Is there more liquidity be hunted? There's something there, yes. So what I'm thinking is this. Let's see how this is going to play out. We're going to take a short position. Let's say I'm an idiot and I don't wait for this to break out. I don't wait for this. And I see this break right here on the 15, and I want to take the entry at the 0.7 here. And this is 1798. What's the ATR? So if this is that for the break, then I would have to use this guy. That's kind of high, right? What is that? Well, it's only 1%. Let's go a little bit above the fib there, just for argument's sake. And then let's dive into the lowest part here. It's 3%. It's not that much. Risk reward. We got any? Yeah, so maybe just a little above that. Could even be about here, where we know they've been, for 2.63. There's also the potential to take some here and then wait, but that's just by the 0.2. for a take profits. Let's see how that works out for us. And on higher leverage, that's probably pretty great, but I wouldn't suggest it, right? And then the other option is to wait for it to break out, hit the retrace, and then grab it anywhere over here. And so let's see how that plays out. Let's say if we did that. Do we do that? So we have two entry options. Let's say I put a stop limit order here and then another one here. So let's see which one's going to play the best. Because then you could enter after it breaks out, whatever. We don't know how far it's going to go. So let's put it below the, well, no, let's not do that because I don't have a solid place for my stop loss. Let's see how this one plays out. All right, press play. Okay, so looks like I'm in it. All right. It comes into my entry area. We're making lower highs. That makes me feel better. All right. Oh, we're going higher and higher. About to be stopped out. Yep. And then, of course, guys, I'm like 0 for 2 right now. This is awful. Okay, so what happens next? So the breakout went in the other direction. It's like pause, right? So the opposite direction, it was coiling upwards. I should have expected some kind of upwards break. That didn't happen. All right. Let's remove all the distractions. This stuff's all distractions. And this is the thing I need to work on, right? That's why we're talking. And I said if it went up, it would go that way. We need confirmation. So it's the opposite thing happened. It was coiling lower, lower, broke. These are kind of weak. It printed a higher thing. It's trading above it. Man, have these moments of I don't know. It's like so crazy. So that didn't happen, but the opposite happened. It broke out. It retraced. Then it did a thing, but it's weak. Can barely get past this high, and yeah. Oh, let's do that because it spikes. Oh, well, it's in the SR flip zone. Staying on top of all these things, guys, is just crazy. All right, so what are our options here? You know, we broke here. I still think it's going down, but we're in this SR flip zone in this other entry area. Holy shit. We have this other entry, this other QML that I completely forgot about, and an SR flip zone. This is where I should have been trying to enter. Okay. All right, so that first one failed. We've made a loss. Or is that the second one we failed at? I can't remember. And this is starting to look a little weak. We got a high here. It's a higher low. We're trading above. But these candles, man. That's bearish looking. Bearish looking. It's a doji. That one's bullish looking. But we're in this entry zone. We've got the QML above. Do we have, there's an imbalance above it too. There's another SR flip. Oh, God, sometimes I just haven't had my glasses on to see all of this stuff. By the way, is it dark? Yeah, it's a little dark. I think I'm probably going to stop this one soon. I seem to be failing miserably. But we have another potential SR flip. There's also a 1 hour supply area up here. It broke out. So maybe let's see what the retest looks like. Because I wanted to see if this is going to turn into a resistance area and then pop an entry. I can't go into lower time frames like the 5 or 2 minute to do a more secure entry because the replayer is going to mess with me. But let's let's say that, we're here, we made this higher, and then we made a lower high, we made a lower high. Let's say that's enough to tell me that I'm still short. There's a QML, but there's an imbalance up here, which makes me feel very nervous. Let's say we were to enter here, and let's come on down. In this case, our fib area would be from up here all the way down to this low. Boom. And I want my entry to be at the 0.8 approximately. It's about here. So I'm going to let price meander a bit until we get to the entry, because it's making a higher low. So I want to see if it's going to pop back up again. Let's put my stop loss above. Actually, oof, it's rough. There's this high up here to mess with as well, 1851. And that one, crud. I don't know, guys. Seems like an iffy type of entry. Let's put it up here. Consolidating. Still a higher low. No, I needed to make a low. I want to enter at like the 0.8 or 0.7. We're in the supply area. Let's see if they hunt folks some more. So we're still making a higher low. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't want to do it. Just look at that. It popped into that imbalance. It's going to eat all of it. Yeah. Rough. So it's entering this SR flip area. Man, why can't I just think to myself, hey, it's coiling up. You're wrong. It's going in the opposite direction. All right. So what did I forget? I forgot momentum. We had momentum going upwards, and that should have been a good indication that price was going to roll up. And let's see, given the momentum, did it hit our target? Let's see. Let's pop this way. Oh, all right, guys, I'm going to end this one for now. I am. See my brain. Oh, wait. I have this entry here from my higher time frames. I don't know. I'm on a losing streak, guys. So far, everything I wanted to do has just been wrong. So let's clear out all of these failed attempts. So that did that. I really need to draw, like I drew this, pay attention to it, and then this would have been a better entry for the breakout, right? Instead of just price action. But it came in right into our estimates. if I'd been paying attention. Also, we're at a daily level that it was coiling away from. So, damn. All right. Let's see if it's going to come into our entry area from the 1 hour. There's more. It's eating this imbalance. I'm going to pull this oval. So it's out the way. And then we're in this SR flip area. Do I get something that tells me it wants to bounce back? So let's, a few more minutes. And, okay. Looks like we're consolidating here, still making higher highs. All right, hold on. Still a higher low. That candle is telling me that buyers are still very much in control. Damn. I need to understand this. Sellers are trying to step in. Okay. All right, so seller stepped in and made this low, roll back up. It's not quite a break yet. Well, that is definitely a juicy break. So we made a low here, so that's telling me, what else we got? We've got this evening star, right? So we got a break right here. We've got an imbalance. I'm gonna try and do this without drawing too many things. We have this juicy break right here, this green candle that started it, an evening star, an SR flip area, confirmed now, and an imbalance. So, what am I thinking? Thinking, oof, there's a doji down here. And what's above it? Because, what is that? There's a higher level entry, supply and demand. Oh, goodness. There's so much price action stuff happening right here. There's also this imbalance right above it, so I don't know how I feel about entering. Still want to short though, since we're coiling back up. This one's eaten, so we can just go ahead and delete that so we cannot be so... So we've got a break right here, this low, and it's not a bad looking break. Man, just trying to trade this over time is insane. So, let me put my glasses on. Oh my goodness, my eyes, blurry things. Maybe that would help. Let my brain understand what the heck I'm looking at. All right. We have areas that we can aim for a short. And I'll take this out right here. There's this imbalance down here. That's also an area. And we got above this pivot, so that should have told us price was going up higher. I ignored the pivot, obviously, like an idiot. When do these things... Oh, they form at 12. What time is it? 11:45. Let's wait for this next pivot to create. Okay, wait. So the pivot just created and price is below the pivot. Okay. So maybe we're changing directions. Let's see. So what I'm thinking here is we have this nice break. Didn't actually break on... Oh, yeah. So this green candle. So I'm thinking an entry would be at this. Once this is eaten, and there's an imbalance up here too, wait for this stuff to be hunted and then enter below the pivot for a short. Let's see. Will that work? If we wait for that stuff to be hunted and then enter on the retrace back down. So what I'm thinking is still shorting, guys, like an idiot. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment. So this is the break. There's that. So I want my entry to be like there. And above that, and then I'd be aiming for that imbalance. It's not very far. Maybe down here in this area where prices have been kicking it. My problem here, though, is if it's going to come back up into this SR flip area, the imbalance is above it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that to be hunted and then come back. Wait for... Let me draw that out, right? So we're here. I'm waiting for a retracement back up to about there, and then I want to catch it coming in the opposite direction this way. So that's what I'm waiting for. So about here on the way back. So let's see if that would have worked. Okay. Looks like it's respecting the pivot. Okay. All right, coming back up. All right. Well, looks like the sellers are running out of steam here. It's higher, low, higher, low. I don't know if it's going to make it back up there. Let's see if this plays out. I'm not in it yet, guys. I still want to see if it's going to roll back up. Let's move this over. Wow, that up. Oh my goodness. And you know what's stupid? I wouldn't have entered yet to know. Because I didn't trust the break. It's the entry area. This imbalance. And you know, that's what happens to me all the time. Like when it's finally the right move, I don't enter. Okay, guys. All right, let's bring this one to a close. I think we've been talking for too long. So what we learn when price is coiling up, making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows in a wedge, and consolidating at the top of the wedge, most likely it's going to break upwards. It doesn't have to, but higher probability, I think. And then, you know, once that happens, maybe I need to pay attention to the pivots. I didn't even put a moving average on this puppy. You know what that would have even looked like. And pay attention to the higher time frame stuff. You know, I was drawing the price because I had set this one up here. This break, it never quite made it back to my entry area, which is okay, but it did enter into this imbalance. And then it gave me another opportunity for an entry right here. And I guess it should have been this green candle as an entry zone and not the small one. Ugh. As an entry zone. Everything is great in hindsight, you know, but damn. And then, because I wanted to enter on this imbalance thinking they might come back and eat it, but they didn't, right? So, entry area, imbalance, evening star. Probably could have pretty much entered on this candle, but I'm still too much of a scaredy cat to actually do that. How annoying. Anyway, a bunch of indecision candles. And then it finally, well, once it made this low, it made me feel like it was going to return around. I guess I should have waited for it to drop below the pivot like it did here. Well, it did drop below the pivot. And then it broke above it weakly, then broke below it. And then once it did that, I should have been like, yes, this is where we should have entered. But shoulda, coulda, didn't. All right? That imbalance would have also made me nervous. So fascinating. This engulfing candle should have been a good sign, but that's the thing. I'm having a hard time spotting the candles below the pivot. Losing steam. Bigger candle. Definitely would have worked. All right, guys. Just got to keep practicing. I know I went into the dark with this one. Hopefully it's not too long, but it's so hard for me to understand momentum and direction. And I think that's, once I get that, I'm going to do really well. That's what I think. All right, guys, this has been pretty long. Happy Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your, before Monday gets started, and be safe wherever you are. Shakira, out.